Welcome to Rise. Rise. We're just gonna call it Rise. Welcome to Rise, family. We're gonna talk about Rise family. Welcome to Rise family. I always say Rise family. We might call it that. All right. So anyway, I'm doing a new style of reviews, family, and we're gonna see how this goes. Jamie, what you got for me today?
All right, have you checked out the Neo videos floating around lately?
Neo. I've heard about it. I've seen the Breakfast Club video on polygamy.
Okay, yeah. It's wild. It's going all over the place. You should check it out.
Okay, it should have known. As soon as a celebrity starts talking about polygamy, everybody has something to say about it. We've been practicing this now for about 5 or 6 years strong. But yeah, that's why I'm very interested to see what Neil has to say. I know some people from the Breakfast Club interview, some people loved it, some people hated it, but it seems like little to no one knows about it. So I'm interested in what he has to say. Let's play the clip.
All right.
Realize that everything is not for everybody. I know you've heard that said before.
Yes.
It is some of the truest that anyone has ever said. Everything is not for everybody. Okay. Society tells you that you're supposed to be with one person. You get married and y'all supposed to be together forever. I am not shitting on marriage. I am not shitting on anyone who has figured out how to make that thing work for them. Again, everything's not for everybody. Monogamy is for you. It's not for me. I realize this. I know this now. And it's like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I realized I spent so much time lying and trying to be somebody that I wasn't for the sake of somebody else. Complete and utter time wasted when I could have just been exactly who I am, said exactly what I want, exactly how I'm rocking, exactly how I'm not, and then waited for those people to gravitate to me. Because that's my reality now. That's my reality now. I don't have to lie anymore. And I'd be damned if I ever go back to that person that needed to lie for the appeasement of somebody else. I'm not that.
I've literally said every bit of that, family. So if you guys don't know, I'm a celebrity life coach. You would think that I offer Neo private coaching. You understand? Because when we first came out with our relationship some years ago, remember the first thing I said was, relationships are about the people in them. What did Neo say? I'm not trying to tell anybody to do anything. Everybody needs to find what works for them, right? It's like verbatim almost. He said he's not trying to force polygamy on anyone. I said, we're not trying to force this on anyone. This is about making your own choices that work best for you. He said he was tired of lying. I said, no man should be out here trying to lie. Nobody can whoop your ass. I mean, you're a grown ass man. What you look like trying to tell someone a lie for, right? Trying to get out of something. I've said time and time again that monogamy is a social agreement. And we are trying to adhere to this social agreement, but we're not monogamous, and that's what a collide happens. So he's been trying to be monogamous, right? And obviously he's been failing to be loyal, as he likes multiple women, and he's been lying about it. And so now he feels free. It's a burden off his shoulders. Most men will talk like this, but I want to say this: it shouldn't be just exclusive to poly, because some people are getting poly and still lie. Okay. That's the same approach you should take with a monogamous relationship, saying what it is that you want, what it is you're going to go for, and then letting the people come to you, manifest to you. He should have never been lying, so I definitely love the fact that he's being honest now and he's chosen what he wanted. But I was looking for more information on why he chose poly, but that's cool. Let's see some more. What you got?
All right, here we go.
Before dating multiple women at once. What are your thoughts on legalizing polygamy?
Legalizing polygamy? I didn't know it was illegal.
It's illegal. You can't get married, but you can obviously have more than one girlfriend.
I feel like in the realm of love and romance, you should let people do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah?
Can't see how it's hurting anybody.
Exactly. Do you think it should be legalized?
Sure, why not?
Would you fight with the lawmakers?
No, because to be honest, I don't need the government to tell me what it is I can and can't do.
Yeah.
It's my personal life. So,
but if you wanted to get married to more than one woman, would you consider doing that?
I don't know.
Yeah?
No, depends on the situation. I'm not gonna let it ruin my day.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the people I love know I love them and they love me.
But why don't you write songs about dating multiple women? You're always just like, gassing up one lady at a time when you're writing music.
I mean, the songs come out depending on the situation and the circumstance.
Okay.
This is the first time that I've been in a relationship or situation like this, so.
And how is
I say
it?
that no songs about it will come to pass. They'll come.
I love it. You recommend the situation you're in now?
No.
Why?
I don't recommend anything to anybody. guys. What works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So I
Girls-
find out what works for you.
Can I ask your girls, would you want to get married with Neo? Something you'd be open to?
See, I love how the conversation is about marriage, right? And how Neo's saying, nah, I wouldn't go fight over it because I don't need the government to approve of anything that I do. What I'm choosing is for my life and me getting into the future and me having my life more abundantly. I don't need the government to approve of that. And she's like, you know, would you go argue about it? You know, no, it ain't about, I ain't pressed. You understand? You know, I do believe that, you know, of course, Neil started off again with you doing what works for you. And he said he's not suggesting this to anybody because it may not work for you. If you try this one time, family, it may not work for you. If you try it 3 times, it may not work. Think about how many monogamous relationships you guys have been in. Again, relationships are about the people in them. It's all about how you choose. If you guys know anything about polygamy, at least you know it's more than one person. So if you got to be serious when you bring in one person in your life, you got to move more seriously when you bring in more than one person, right? And it failing or succeeding is no indication on if the construct is a successful construct. It's all about people and their willingness to work together and all this type of stuff. Do you understand? But you know, I like how Neo is kind of expressing himself and being free, walking out with his 2 ladies. I know he gets crazy looks all the time, and you know, you got to really be serious about what you're doing and dedicated. They ask the ladies though, would you want to be married? I would like to know their thoughts on that. But I think committed is kind of where it is. As long as you're committed and you're working together with one goal in mind, you got what you have. You understand? But very interesting. Let's see the next video.
All right.
I'm not shitting on marriage. I'm not shitting on anyone who has figured out how to make that thing work for them. Again, everything's not for everybody. Monogamy's for you. It's not for me. I realize this. I know this now. And it's like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I realized I spent so much time lying and trying to be somebody that I wasn't for the sake of somebody else. Complete and utter time wasted when I could have just been exactly who I am, said exactly what I want, exactly how I'm rocking, exactly how I'm not, and then waited for those people to gravitate. Could have just been exactly who
All right,
I
so
am.
that clip must have been a little bit earlier from the other one because he's getting into the same things. But before you hit that next clip, he said something on the last clip about, I don't see anything wrong with polygamy, so why not make it illegal, right? Why not make it legal, right? The question is, do we see anything wrong with monogamy? When you guys look around you and you see children born out of wedlock, when you see single mothers, single fathers, you see children growing up in broken homes, you guys do know this is a failed attempt at monogamy, right? Instead of calling it monogamy, I now call it serial monogamy. Because what happens is you get in one relationship, you create these bonds, whether that be a child or whatever the case may be. When that relationship doesn't work out, you get into another one, and the new person is asked to somehow be responsible for what you created in this relationship, and this just continues on and on and on and on. And most people have to admit they don't like that. When they try to hook up in monogamous relationships, they want to know, do you got a baby mama? Do you have a baby daddy? Do you have baby mama drama? Baby daddy drama, right? Do you take care of your children? All these different things come into play, right? Do your children need you? Do your children have their mother or father in their life? Are they going to be dependent on me? You know, and we accept them because we've grown. We're kind of like a fish in water. You understand? Like we see it as a norm, so we don't really argue with it. But frankly, most of us don't like that. If you ask us, our ideal relationship is with a person who hasn't already started a family, someone who has no children. Let's be honest, okay? So what's wrong with monogamy? We do not practice it. That's what's wrong. So it's destroyed our world. And now we're trying to make all of these cleanups, and we're calling that blended families. But we're learning that even in that, it's so much destruction that goes on, so many risks that come into play by trying to be somebody's father that's not your child. We've seen this, and somebody's mother that's not your child. You're raising someone else's children. We've seen that children have a hard time accepting a new parent. We've seen relationships break down to where those children don't get to see those people anymore after the relationship ends. It's a lot, family, and we don't talk about it. But it's time to start. You understand? All right, so let's get to the next one. What we got?
All right, this clip here is Omarion speaking on polygamy.
Okay, let's see it.
About in my chair for Hot Topics about actor Kofi Saraboh, and he says that he practices ethical non-monogamy. Okay, do you think that's a good idea, ethical non-monogamy?
Well, I will say I'm in agreement. You know, I don't know all of the backstory of those words, but I would say for me, being open is important, and also. You know, the women just truly outnumber the men. You know what I mean? And it's a
you're supposed to have, is this like an all-you-can-eat buffet over here?
No, let me...
Okay, go on explain. I'm not jumping on you.
Let me just say, it's only a few good men. It's only a few good men.
Right.
You know? And whether or not it's a... Whether or not it's a physical thing, you know, we end up fostering the next generation as well. So why not have our queens or the women, because I was raised by all women, you know what I mean? Why not have our queens aligned with that? That it takes a village. It's not gonna just be one man. You know, you could get married, that man still ain't gonna be just your man. He's gonna be, you know, there for his daughter. He's gonna be there for his mom, his grandmother. You know, so this concept isn't really foreign. It's just a little old, you know, and it's meant to be upgraded. And I love this conversation because I think when men are open and honest that they don't want to have just this one thing for the rest of their life, it gives a woman an opportunity to choose and to, you know, further understand a man, because, you know, I think that women don't really understand a man. Certain women do, but there's a larger conversation that has to be had about understanding men and how, you know, we're meant to spread our seed.
Well, I want to say this, Omarion. I want to say that I was totally against all of that polyamory, but you keep staring in my eyes, I'll be one of your queens. This right here.
Yeah, and I.
Who else you want? I got a cousin, Jamaica. I got this one over here.
All right, cool. Speaking of cousins, Omarion's Lacey's cousin, by the way. Now look at the end of that video. She said that she's against polyamory, but the way he keep looking at her eyes, she's gonna second guess it, right? Which tells you women don't like the idea, but when they see a man that they want to be with, someone who motivates them, inspires them, somebody they're attracted to, all of a sudden it's okay. But the idea and the concept in totality is not. And it's almost like if you ask a man, would you raise somebody else's child? He'll say no. Because the thought of it is nah. But if he meet a woman that he loves, it starts to sound a little different. He starts to feel a little differently about that. Right. But I want to say I do like how Omarion came with that. He got better. Yeah. He started off where he's using the argument that there's more women than men. I like how he looked so passionate. You know, there's more, you know, women than men, like it was some type of thing, endangered species type of deal. She didn't want to hear that. So it's actually about building up your estate, building your legacy and lineage. It's irrelevant that there's more women than men. Some people use that logic to say, well, it must be designed by God. There's more women than men, but no. But one thing he said that was really awesome is there's a few good men. So forget the amount of men. As far as men who can lead a family, be responsible and resource a family, children, and care about a legacy, there are few men. Most men don't care about that. And unfortunately, women are giving a lot of those men families. Those men don't care about raising their children. When they're pregnant by them, these men don't want the children. They just want to sleep with these women. They don't value the woman. They don't value the children. Half these men don't value their mothers. You understand? And what's unfortunate is that women have been taught to pursue these men, whether it be through music, culture, whatever the case may be, and they're rewarding bad men who are just trying to spread their seed. What Omarion said at the end is men are supposed to spread their seed. They're supposed to father it too. And they're supposed to protect the women that carry their seeds. And that was our culture, okay? And so he's saying it's a little old. It was everywhere. The colonizer went in, and the first thing he disrupts is polygamous relationships. They force monogamy on us. Why? Because they understand that humans are resources. And back then, people could build their own legacy, their own estates by having more people, recreating, being fruitful and multiplying. So the government takes that power away from you to create your own human resources. And they say, hey, you can only marry one woman. And what they do is they convince other men to think that this is healthy. And they convince other women to think that our old way was some kind of chaotic and nasty and disgusting, when really it was simply the way of life. Okay. And you can see this when you look at simply our nature. Okay, we're sleeping around with each other. We date off attraction. We date off of what we think somebody can do for us. And it's not just one person. So we're not monogamous. And we know this is true because we've had one relationship. When that failed, we were able to get feelings and feel attracted and feel love and all these different things for a whole new person. So clearly, there's no chemical makeup that makes us monogamous to where we can only connect with one partner. Clearly. And if you think about monogamous relationships? Why are they built on this thing called loyalty if we are monogamous? It wouldn't even be a word. Cheating wouldn't be a word if we were truly monogamous. Do you understand? The sheer fact that people are worried about somebody cheating on them is saying that we are not naturally, instinctually monogamous. That these instincts of being with other people do arise, and we just have to be disciplined to whatever lifestyle we choose. You see what I'm saying? But it's just the facts. Men cheat just as often as women. We thought it was mostly men, and it's both, which says a lot of these people are committing to these social relationships, social constructs of monogamy, but cannot do it regardless of how they feel about each other. And it's causing people to have trauma and all this different types of stuff. You know, I love what Amarion had to say. Great take. Shout out to Amarion. Shout out to Neo as well. Let's see the next one.
Man, outside with your multiple partners, Neo. And I would say myself personally, I'm truly a fan. You get it how you live. You do the lifestyle. What do you think is the reason why people don't understand the lifestyle that you choose to live?
To keep it as blunt and quick as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know and I don't care. It ain't for you to understand. I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm doing it for me. You know, this life is mine and I'm gonna live it how I'm gonna live it. If you disapprove, there's so many other things you can pay attention to. Simple as that.
I like that. But how do you explain that to your mom? How did you explain it to your mom? Because I'd be scared to say something like that, even if it was my true lifestyle. Because I guess my mom still got a hold on me. I'd be scared to explain. So how did you explain to your mom?
Is a little cooler than the average bear. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it didn't require a whole lot of explaining. These are the women that I'm dealing with. I love them. They love me, and this is what we're doing. And she said, "Baby, as long as you're happy, I'm happy," and that's all it is.
Do the ladies also get along with each other, if you know what I mean?
They do. It don't work otherwise. You know what I mean? Everybody has to have. Here's the thing. Everybody don't have to be in love yet. You know, we can build to that, but at the very least, everybody has to have a respect for each other that says, "All right, we doing this thing together. Let's be cordial." You know what I mean? I spent a whole lot of time being real dishonest about a lot of things, and you know, now that I'm living my truth, I can honestly say I'm happier than I've ever been. And it honestly makes me mad to think about how much time I wasted just lying and not being honest with myself and other people.
Man.
That's powerful. He spent so much time lying, and now that he's telling the truth, the world wants to condemn him. They're asking him, okay, the other guy, I would have a hard time explaining this to my mom. So the first question was, people have disagreements about it. What is it that people don't like about it? He says, honestly, I don't care. That's kind of the mentality you have to take, because everybody's going to have their reason. Somebody's in the comments commenting because they want their mama to see it. They want women around them to see it. And validate them, because they're not men yet. They're scared of what their mama gonna think about their life. I raise my children, choose the life you're gonna live regardless of how you think I'm gonna think about it. And until you're willing to do that, you haven't reached full maturity. Your life is yours, it's not mine. And they have to understand it. Don't be afraid of me. Tell me what it is you're trying to pursue and why, and I'll get behind you. And if I don't, you gotta show me. You understand? But for that reason, people are going to lie for whatever reason. So you shouldn't care. You really shouldn't care. Because people are going to come up with every other reason in the world. Men are going to say you're being selfish. But if you ask me, women who are asking them to take care of their children when the first relationship didn't work are being selfish. Women who pursue millionaires and say, well, he can give me all of his money and can't share it with any other woman. I want all of it because he has it all, when the average man couldn't even give her that. But this man should have to give her more because he has more. So that type of thinking, that makes them selfish. So a woman willing to go above and beyond for a man, she must be brainwashed. She must be crazy to do something for him that most women wouldn't do. But this millionaire coming to give one woman his entire world, he's going over and above, but he's just doing it because of love. He's not manipulated. You see what I mean? And so I do like how Neo said, you know what? If you don't like it, you can watch something else. I'm not about to explain my life to you. I did it because it works for me. If you don't like it, that's on you. I don't have time to sit here and try to make my mama accept how I want to live my lifestyle. And the saddest part is, while he's a bachelor, while he's running women, he's called a bachelor. When he wants to commit to several women and actually do right by them, now he's wrong. What are we really condemning here? It's wild. We got one more?
We got one more.
All right, one more. Let's do it.
Neo.
Yes.
Now, your relationship has been in the spotlight a lot lately. Now, I don't know if you're going to have 1, 2, or 3 brides, honey. But anyway, let's talk about just this love.
Said 4.
Tell him, Neo. Tell him. So, Neo, how do you juggle multiple women at one time? Because I tried that, honey, and it didn't work.
Well,
No, but not-
it's not about
not that
about
way.
juggling. It ain't about juggling. You know, the key ingredient to making it work is honesty. Everybody got to be telling the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I saw Slim Thug say that you're a king, honey. You a king. You could do all that stuff. I mean, but being honest, but those women, Neil, I saw when you was backstage, are they triplets or are they just 3 different women?
No, it's 3. Well, there's 4 of them total. It was just 3 there that was there that particular night. But yeah, man, it's listen, it works. It works.
Yeah.
It works. Everybody's honest. Everybody telling the truth. Everybody is consenting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I wasted a lot of time just being dishonest about things to the point where had I taken this approach initially, probably could have saved myself a lot of headache and heartache. You know what I
They
mean?
need to put a statue of you up in your hometown. For all the men to go and worship. For all the men to go once a month and just bow down to it.
Yeah.
Boy, if I could have pulled this off 30 years ago. Good God.
You ain't lying, bro. I swear you ain't lying, man.
I'm trying not to say nothing because she might be listening, but damn it.
Yeah, bro, okay, I'm with you, bro. I got to go.
Your birthday need to be a national holiday. When is your birthday, man? For all the damn players out here, when your birthday?
Yeah,
We need that day off.
Yeah, but y'all sit here, you say all that stuff, though, but the question is, though, Neil, can they date somebody else or they got to wait for you to come off
Everybody
stage?
got to be
Oh
honest.
no, absolutely not. So here's the thing, I don't ask anybody for exclusivity. I don't even make that a requirement. I don't make that. But if you offer it, then it's mine. If you offer it and I accept it, then it's mine. Which means that you have decided that I'm the only person that you're gonna deal with. And if that's a decision that you've made and I accept, then that's where we at.
Okay. Maybe he's coming to the same conclusions, ironically, that I came to years ago, but and saying it the same way. I don't know. But I can recall when they asked me that question, what if your wives want other men? I'm like, absolutely not. We got into this because this is what we chose. I wanted to make sure that the women I was wanting only wanted one guy. They didn't want someone else. They only wanted to be with me. That way I don't have to worry about telling them they can't do something that they want to do. That's okay. I ain't tripping, Neo. Call me, man. We're going to get some coaching going on, whatever the case may be. I'm going to do a class on poly where I'm going to be teaching about the actual ins and outs of poly, why it makes sense and things like that, so people can have a better understanding. Because so far, it seems like men are just more excited through ego. You can hear them. Oh man, you should be worshipped. We should put a statue outside. If you don't work right in these relationships, polygamy will be a horrible, an even worse relationship than monogamy. If men have to think about how they've ruined their lives through not being disciplined, through lying, telling a woman one thing, doing another, and now she's got your baby. You're on the outside looking in at your kids and can't see them. And I'm not saying that every relationship that's failed is a man's fault, but the fact is, we know we've made a lot of mistakes by simply lying and not being honest, right? So if you guys going to practice polygamy because you feel like, well, it's hard for me to be honest monogamy, so I'm just going to tell them up front, you'll probably still be adding women on. When women come along trying to throw something at you, you probably won't have the discipline to say no. It's something you should take seriously. So Neo has 4 ladies. I couldn't see myself honestly with more than 2. I see myself as, they ask me, was he juggling, right? I think about juggling like one of the objects have to leave your hand, right? My wives don't leave my hand. They stay in my care. They are to have and to hold, okay? And aesthetically, I wouldn't even know what to do with more than one wife. Like, we're out. I got 2 hands. They're holding my hands. I don't know what else to do with a third person there. So I see Neo walking down the street with 2. That looks about right, but I see him at the show with 3. But hey, to each his own. I'm not saying this for any other reason than aesthetic, okay? I just can't see like 3 of us out here trying to, I don't know. But I definitely can see 3, 4, 5, 6 working together for a common goal, being able to, accomplish that a lot faster than 3. You understand? So 3 people. So the more the merrier. If you guys can get along, if you guys can focus your eye on the prize. A lot of people look at these relationships and they often judge the man and say, well, what if your women do it? Would that be okay? Because in their mind, they're looking at it like the man is somehow getting his cake and eating it too, and he's somehow cheating the system. Again, they're overlooking the bachelor because he's out there sleeping with all these women, and he's not taking care of any one of them aside for what he do for them on that night, right? Whatever experience he creates for them when he's out with them, or he might buy them something from here and there, but he's not committed to resourcing and protecting this lady. And so this man will run all these types of women. So just think about Neo if he was single. There'd be so many women lined up for him. Right. This city, that city, this city, that city. Nobody says a word. Now, all these women he's sleeping with, he's potentially could have children with them. have a hole poked in a condom, have a horrible lie told on him with one of these toxic ass women. Every time he puts himself throwing his on the crap table, taking chances. Nobody says a word, but that type of lifestyle is what creates the world we live in. Soon as this man says, yo, I'm going to commit, this means that they're going with him to these shows. That means he ain't going to the hotel with a whole bunch of new girls, strange girls. He's with his women.
Right.
So he's committed to those women. Now we got issues with it. Now we want to know, what if those women decided to do it? How are you getting over? Wouldn't he be getting over more if he didn't commit himself to 4 women? Wouldn't he be getting over more if he could now access all of these women's bodies without promising them any type of future, no working together, no nothing? And so I really wish that women would understand, you're sharing a man when you're single. When you guys run off to these concerts and sleep with these celebrities or sleep with these guys just for a one-night stand or because he's treating you to some option, your vagina was supposed to get you marriage, not just sex and a good time. So in their mind, they're like, oh, I'm winning. He's flying me out, all this type of stuff. That wealth that he's spending on you, you could have your own wealth if you work with a guy to amass wealth. But you sitting here selling yourself to this guy for an experience, and really, that he's having his cake and eating it too, because he gets to sleep with you and he does not have to commit to you at all. He doesn't have to take care of you at all. If you got a problem, call the cops. Call that other guy you dealing with. But don't call him. You understand what I'm saying? He might take care of you, call him, I got some money here, whatever the case may be, but this is not dedicated, him moving in with you. You see what I'm saying? And so I do think our world has it misunderstood. There's nothing wrong with blended families. There's nothing wrong with monogamy, right? But if you're going to be okay with blended families, you can't really condemn polygamy, okay? Because all blended families is a fix to broken monogamy, right? So if we were truly monogamy, there would be no blended families. And so all blended families is a representation that we are not truly monogamous. And so while we say, blended families is cool, this person's not really their father, but they call him father. This person's not really their mother, but they call him mother. If they break up, they may never see each other again. That stepbrother that's a stranger isn't really his brother, and yet they call each other siblings. We say, that's okay. But then they'll condemn us for me having 2 wives and raising my children inside the home. All my children are mine. None of them is calling me dad that's not my father, not my child. I'm calling no child son or daughter that's not my child. They're all my DNA, every one of them. But people are finding something to say. Why? Because the women are living with me and at the same time. We're together at the same time. We're working together. That's the problem. But if you guys, if one of you wasn't with me and one of you was a broken relationship that I had to cooperate with when it comes to working with the children and all, we would have a happy, they would look at it and say, that's just his ex.
Right.
They work together. They wouldn't have a problem. But if we're going to choose to still sleep together, right? And focus all our energy in one area, all our money goes in the same house instead of me giving you money. Let's just say, like they say, well, you could have just left Jamie and stayed with Lacey. Let's say I did that. Right. Now I'm having to fund you outside of a home. Lacey's inside of a home. I got money going to 2 different places now. It's going to the same place. That's a problem. But to them, it's more reasonable if I break up with you, don't be with you at all, don't be with my children, and just go be with Lacey. That's a new family, because a man can only take care of one woman at a time. Why? Why are we saying that? Before we end this, guys, if you go back, you're going to find that women chose men based on how capable they were. And women would choose often the same guy because there wasn't really many capable men, okay? And even now, if you guys had your choice, many of you would choose some wealthy guy. Y'all line up at all these concerts for these celebrities. Y'all line up for these guys, knowing that he has his choice of the plenty, not many, plenty, and you guys will still do it. Why? He has money, he has access to wealth, he has a lifestyle which you guys can experience, all these different things which tells you a stable life. If the government right now was to make polygamy legal, lame men who do not have any future, any plan, any money to take care of a woman, they would be the ones on the outside looking in. Women would still be taken care of, and they would get to be with the guy they wanted to be, not being told, well, he already has a girl, I can't talk to him. That man still want to talk to you. He just don't want to break his wife's heart because he done committed to some crap. And that's why all these men are secretly like praising Neo. I wish men would be honest and just tell the truth, man. But until next time, stay tuned, family, for this poly class, all right? Peace to you all.